go, John. The seed is strong. And we're back in Dothraki world. Oh, God! Catelyn, no! Hello, everyone. My name is Michelle, and thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you could, please give the video a like before exiting, and please consider subbing. Today, we'll be watching the 4th episode of Game of Thrones. Welcome back, everyone. We're getting into the 5th episode of Game of Thrones, and it's been a while since I've sat down and watched it. I think it's been like 2 weeks since I've watched a Game of Thrones episode, but I'm gonna go ahead and just jump right into this. We left off with Arya training with Syrio Forel. I love their little relationship. Sansa is understandably upset in the sense that the lady died, and she was put in a really sticky situation. I mean, even if she told the truth, I think it wouldn't have made a difference. I get it that she has to take Joffrey's side and everything, but I don't think there was, how can I put it? I don't think there was any way that lady or Nymeria was coming to King's Landing with them. I think it was more so pointed out in the books rather than the show. Like that in that breakfast scene with Jaime and Tyrion and Cersei essentially makes it clear them direwolves ain't making the King's Landing. She's like, they're not coming with us. So I feel like these direwolves were like, there was like a time clock on their lives, and none of them were coming to King's. Cersei made it very clear they're not coming, because I think it was Jaime or I think it was Tyrion that mentioned that the direwolves go wherever the kids go, and Cersei's like, not to King's Landing. So those direwolves were always marked for death, but I understand why Sansa's upset. Lady's dead, and I know some people might blame her for that, or I just feel like regardless of what Sansa did, the outcome was always going to be one of these direwolves were dying. Both of them were dying. One of them were dying. They just weren't making the King's Landing. It just was not going to happen. And I think that's pretty, I mean, yeah, there was more. We get the whole cat spa reveal, which, God. You want Catelyn not to trust Littlefinger, but you get why she trusts Littlefinger. You know, he's really the only familiar face that she knows in King's Landing, and so of course she trusts him. But it's like, no, don't trust this little shit starter. I think it was confirmed, like in an app, that Joffrey was the one who sent the assassin. I think it was sort of, how can I put it? When Tyrion is in Winterfell in the library, he's reading a whole bunch of books, and he overhears, and like the Hound and Joffrey are in the library as well. And I feel like George R. R. Martin had him say, send a dog to kill a dog. In the library that happens, and that's what Joffrey says to the Hound, essentially saying he wants him dead, Bran dead. He wants Bran dead. The summer keeps howling, he's annoying, kill the kid. That's Joffrey's line of thinking, and he says that in the library. And when the assassin comes to kill Bran, it's the library that the fire starts. So and it is confirmed that it is Joffrey who sends the cat spa assassin. Like, that's all him. But I think those were like 2 little clues. Very, very vague. You gotta like look really closely to see the connection. But yes, I'm pretty sure it was confirmed it was Joffrey that started this shit. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into this episode. Cripples, bastards, and broken things. My favorite line from Tyrion. Well, maybe not my favorite. Probably the moment when he's talking to Janice Slint has some of my favorite lines from Tyrion. Anyways, let's just get into this. So grab a drink, grab a snack, whatever it is you like to do when you watch your favorite reactions. Just get comfortable and let's get to. Oh, little Bran's crow dreams. To think he grows up to be king. Little King Crow.
We have visitors.
Don't want to see anyone.
Jesus.
A warmer welcome on my last visit.
Any man of the Night's Watch is welcome at Winterfell.
Any man of the Night's Watch, but not I, eh, boy?
I'm not your boy, Lannister.
And you might learn a lord's courtesy. Do you remember anything about what happened?
He has no memory of that day.
Curious.
Why are you here?
He has no memory because he was told to forget. He was made to forget.
Do you like to ride, Bran?
Yes.
The boy has lost the use of his legs.
What of it? With the right horse and saddle, even a cripple can ride.
I'm not a cripple.
Then I'm not a dwarf. My father will rejoice to hear it.
I like how Tyrion looks
Give that to your
the
son.
reality in the
He'll provide
eye.
the rest.
And he's like, listen, the faster you accept the
Shape
truth,
horse to the rider.
the more
Start
equipped
with the
you are
yield.
to
Use it
essentially
to respond to the reins
deal
and to
with
the
it
boy's
and like
voice.
prepare yourself for those
Will I really be able to ride?
You will.
harsh truths.
On horseback, you'll be as tall as
This
anyone.
woman is so sweet.
Why do you want to help him?
I have a tender spot in my heart for cripples, bastards, and broken things.
Oh. My hope for Tyrion, like book Tyrion, is that he regains this empathetic side of him. Because I understand he is going through it right now. Everything he lost, everything that happened to him, everything, I think it's a culmination of everything that's happened in his life that has just broken him and has just released all of these darker urges and feelings within him. My hope is that he's able to get past it. But oh Lord, he is in a really fucked up place in the books right now. I just hope he makes it through and he regains this empathetic side of him.
I still remember seeing my father's fleet burn in Lannisport. I believe your uncles were responsible.
Must have been a pretty sight.
Nothing prettier than watching sailors burn alive. Shame how it all turned out.
We were outnumbered 10 to 1.
Stupid rebellion, then.
Why is he coming at him for this? Oh my goodness.
Your enemy's squire.
Careful, imp.
I've offended you. Forgive me. It's been a rough morning.
I always feel like maybe he picked a fight with Theon, even though Theon didn't really do anything, is maybe he was in pain, because Tyrion does experience a lot of pain from his, like, just his body walking and going upstairs and horse riding. It hurts him. Like, when Catelyn brings him up to the Vale, like, he's in pain the entire time. Same thing when he's traveling to the Wall with Yoren.
I'll pivot as you deliver the stroke, with all your weight behind it. What in seven hells is that?
No! Oh no!
They'll need an 8-fell to fit him in.
You know, when I think of everything Sam went through from his father, Danny should have done worse to Randall. Is he trying to mean mug? Oh no, Sam! Oh my goodness.
Till he finds his feet.
Oh my goodness. Oh. All the BS his father put him through, and then he comes here and this is his, like, treatment.
Bloody pigs! Again, harder. It's like the bastard's in love. All you gotta do is get past the bastard.
Raftwood. I'm so disappointed we never got like a fight, a proper fight between him and the Night King. So annoying.
Go clean the armory. That's all you're good for.
Fuck you. Sorry. Oh my goodness.
I'm a coward.
Wall's no place for
Well,
cowards.
you're right. I'm sorry. I just wanted to thank you.
Oh my goodness. Such a precious soul. Oh my god. Fuck Randall Tarley for what he did to... Oh my goodness. And we're back in Dothraki world. Go. Essos. Have we made it to Vice Dothrak? That is such a cool statue. I wonder if it's real.
Vice Dothrak, city of the horse lords.
Pile of mud. Mud, shit, and twigs. Best
God.
these savages can do.
You shouldn't call them savages.
I'll call them what I like, because they're my people.
Go on, little cart king. Go on. Did they ever show him having to like ride in the cart? I can't recall if they put that in there, but they would make him ride in the cart.
If my brother
Well, he wanted to ride in the cart.
Could you conquer the Seven Kingdoms?
The North King Robert is fool enough to meet them in open battle. But the men advising him are different. Had no money and an expensive wife.
And where is she now?
In another place with another man.
I can't recall if his wife was a high tower. I think she was. But no, there was no, I mean, let's just paint a picture. Let's just say Viserys did manage to, Khal Drogo amused him and he took this army to Westeros. They would have gotten ran out. They were not beating the Westerosi army with, like this. It just wasn't happening. They were way too strong at this point. Like the War of Five Kings hadn't started yet. Their forces weren't depleted. Their food wasn't depleted. And if anything, Robert loves war.
You can't keep the king's peace. Perhaps the city watch should be commanded by someone who can.
I need more men.
Baelish will see it paid for.
I will.
You found money for a champion's purse. I'll also give you 20 of my household guard.
Oh, God. Even Varys is like, what are you doing? Varys his face like, your own household guard? Like, no.
The realm prospers from such events, my lord. They give the great a chance of glory and the lowly a respite from their woes.
Lord John often came to me for counsel.
Why?
Kings and hands have come to me for advice since...
What did John want the night before
you
he
should
died?
always be wary of people who've served quite a few kings. You serve more than one king, you gotta like side-eye them at some point.
As I said, my lord, a ponderous reed.
Did John Arryn tell you what he wanted with it?
He did not, my lord. I did not presume to ask.
And John's death.
Such a tragedy.
So you keep saying. Such a tragedy.
There was one phrase he kept repeating. The seed is strong.
What does that mean?
It means them Baratheon.
The dying mind.
the seed is strong.
Thank you. I'll find my own way out.
God. To know this man is faking. He's a great actor, and even better actor as Pycelle. Literally going to work and then he just looks left and sees this. Like, what is this?
It's a hard fall down these steps.
Sirio says every hurt is a lesson, and every lesson makes you better.
How can you not smile when you see this girl?
I'm going to be saying swordsmen should study cats. They're as quiet as shadows and as light as feathers. You have to be quick to catch them.
He's right about that. But someday, he could be lord of a holdfast. He'll sit on the king's council.
Sit on the king's council? In a way, he kind of does.
Can I be lord of a holdfast?
You will marry a high lord and rule this castle, and your sons shall be knights and princes and lords.
No. That's not me.
This is me. Every time I see John up here, I'm like, you're freezing your balls off, aren't you?
Sir Alistair said I'm to be your new watch partner.
Of course he did.
Come stand by the fire. It's warmer.
Oh, that's all right. I'm fine.
You're not. You're freezing. What are you doing here, Sam?
I have a horrible father. Usually starts there. Shit parents.
But you're not worthy of my land and title. Tomorrow, you're going to take the black, forsake all claim to your inheritance and start north. If you do not, then we'll have a hunt, and you'll be thrown from your saddle to die.
Jesus. And that doesn't document the years of abuse he put Sam through. Like, the most horrific thing you can think of, he did to Sam. To try to make a man out of him. Oh my God. And then when he was telling him this, he like literally ripped out the heart of like, I forgot what he was skinning. He was skinning something and he's like ripped out the heart. He's like, this gonna be you, fatty. And put the heart down.
Here, you're reading a boring book.
God damn, 2 seconds and this man just shows up.
Why are you telling me this?
I promised Cat that I'd help you.
Oh God, if this is to be a friend, who needs enemies?
You see that boy there? One of Varys's little birds.
Are they missing tongues?
Spider has taken...
I can't remember if they took that part out about Varys. That's why I'm like, Varys in no way, shape, or form is a good person. Like, who takes the tongues out of children?
Is there someone in your service whom you trust completely?
Yes.
The wiser answer was no. After that, you might want him to visit a certain armorer. He lives in a large house at the top of the Street of Steel.
But Baelish, perhaps I was wrong to distrust you.
Distrusting me was the wisest thing you've done since you climbed off your horse.
Listen, if a nigga says that to you, don't trust him. God, he's such a master manipulator.
This is fine work.
It's not for sale. Boy, this is the King's hand.
I don't give a shit.
His lordship wants the helmet. I made it for me.
I love him so much. Oh man, I love Gendry.
What would you talk about?
About my work, first. Then he started asking me about my mother, who she was, what she looked like.
Look at me.
Sees it. That is that is a Baratheon is what he's saying. This might be like a tangent, but I wish they'd kept Rhaenys in House of the Dragon. They changed Rhaenys' hair because her mother is a Baratheon. And even with the Targaryen genes, her hair still came out black. Like, she has silver in her hair, but it's mostly black. I wish they kept that detail because it's such a huge plot line in the first season. Like, the seed is strong. And then they kind of got rid of that for Rhaenys. Because even with a Baratheon and Targaryen, that black hair still came through.
Sam's no different from the rest of us. We're not going to hurt him in the training yard anymore. He's our brother now, and we're going to protect him.
Look at Jon!
You are in love, Lord Snow.
Oh God, mind your business. Is that Rast? He could kick rocks.
But if Thorne puts me up against Lady Piggy, I'm going to slice me off a side of bacon.
Ooh, John's like, I'm gonna have to handle you. Jesus, the way he turned, I was like, well, Ghost and I have a mission. I have to put that fucker in his place. Like, why would you mess with the one man who has a big-ass direwolf running around? That is the last person you want to mess with.
Touches Sam.
I love Jon. I love him so much. Just good people, man.
What are you waiting for?
But he has his sass. Makes him even better. Don't try to make it that obvious.
You think this is funny, do you? When you're out there, beyond the wall with the sun going down, do you want a man at your back or a sniveling boy?
You see, I get, like, they need to be prepared, but at the same time, he's not preparing them. And God, Viserys is so horrible. Like,
to give me commands. I should have sent you back her head.
You do not command me.
I wasn't commanding you. It's a gift. I had it made for you.
Dothraki ran.
She was just trying to get him to, like, fit and be one of them. It'd be easier. Oh my God, he is so horrible to her.
You next door want to braid my hair.
You've no right to a braid. You've won no victories yet.
There you go. Oh my God.
You are a horse lord slut. Woken
You
the
sold
dragon.
her. She good. Like, how can you disparage her like that?
I am the wife of the great Carl, and I carry a son inside me. The next time you raise a hand to me,
his face
will be the last time you have hands.
Good. Tell me to kick the fuck on. Kick rocks. Kick rocks. You sold her to him, and then you're gonna call her a horse lord slut?
Why exactly did he not make love to Ros with the perfect?
Oh my goodness, the perfect
What's my
titties.
name? Because all I could think was, what if I got her pregnant? And she had a child. Another bastard named Snow.
Oh my goodness. Man, fuck society for that. This little Westeros society for treating Jon like this. Just because his last name...
Bitch!
oh shit.
Enjoying yourselves?
They were just having a laugh. No.
You don't know cold. Neither of you do. But later when we started to fall, that wasn't easy.
I'm so torn on Sir Alistair because he's not wrong. Like, y'all need to prepare for how strong winter is going to be, but like, you are not preparing them you're abusing them. Like, you're just putting them down. You're not uplifting them. Or I get it. You have to be hard on them. But there's a way to be hard while encouraging them. You are just taking out your bitterness on them.
I pray for home too. My brother will never take back the Seven Kingdoms. He'll never take us home.
I do find it curious as to why they never featured the house with the red door, like the whole Bravosi, and I think it wasn't it Oberyn that signed her marriage license with Viserys. Like, all of these little things they just took out. Like, it would have been so cool to like feature those little connections and things like that. Or was it Quentin? I forgot who signed her marriage license. No, they oversaw it while the Sea Lord of Braavos.
My lord, Her Grace, the Queen.
What are you doing here?
I might ask the same of you. You can't change him, you can't help him. He'll do what he wants, which is all he's ever done.
Mm-hmm.
You're just a soldier, aren't you?
I was also trained to kill my enemies, Your Grace.
As was I.
So, my goodness. You listen, hate her or love her, she had some wicked ass lines throughout this show, man. Oh man, Cersei was not one to be effed with. Truly was not. What a horrible ending such a great character got.
Lady Stark. What an unexpected pleasure. I was sorry to miss you at Winterfell.
Oh god, Tyrion was so confused, like, what? Oh no.
I was still Catelyn Tully.
Oh my god.
The last time I stayed here.
No, Catelyn, leave it be. Don't do this. Don't do it.
Is that the black bat of Harrenhal I see embroidered on your coat?
It is, milady.
Lord Hoster Tully of
face like,
Riverrun?
What's going on here?
My father counts Jonas Bracken amongst his oldest and most loyal bannermen.
I envy your father all his fine friends, Lady Stark, but I don't quite see the purpose of this.
The Twin Towers of Frey.
He plans to take another wife.
Oh, she knew. She knew right there. I have you. The second he laughed at the phrase.
Man came into my house as a guest, and there conspired to murder my son. A boy.
Tyrion's like, whoa there.
In the name of King Robert and the good lords you serve, I call upon you to seize him and help me return him to Winterfell to await the king's justice.
Oh, God! Catelyn, no! I mean, such a satisfying moment for her. But in the long run, no, Catelyn, no! This scene always, like, this entire thing leaves me so conflicted about Catelyn. Like, I get it. The man who you think tried to murder your son, you can feel, she's probably still feel like she's constantly in pain. Where the Valyrian dagger like cut through her, she can probably feel with every move, she can feel it. And like Tyrion comes in and he's just walking around, strutting around, flinging his money, get me some food and all this. And then they reworked the scene a bit, but he locks eyes with her and realizes, oh wait, Catelyn, you're here. Oh my goodness. And then she's like, you know what? I have no time to think. I just have the moment. I forgot the line. Like, she only had the moment to like seize him. Like, in this moment I have to take him. But what gets me about Catelyn is I understand, I get it. She was just so overcome by like, F this man who tried to kill my child and crippled him. Like, I get it. Those emotions are overcoming you. But at the same time, what gets me is Catelyn, when she does meet up with Robb, like the next time she sees Robb, she like makes it very clear, like, this is who Tywin Lannister is. You know what kind of man Tywin Lannister is, and yet you abduct his son. And what makes it work? Like, okay, she says, we're going to Winterfell. But she lies about that. Interestingly enough, there's so many like ironic moments. Like, it's like the way George R. R. Martin wrote this is so, well, not the, I don't think he wrote the episode, but I'm talking about the scenes in the book and like how everything plays out. it's so freaking genius because she's going through all of these houses, and then Tyrion, like, I feel like the Freys have like this, not superiority complex, but an inferiority complex amongst the houses. And so like they have like they have a natural chip on their shoulder because you have all these great houses and then they're like the lower tier. Not to mention like late Walder Frey, because he joined the war, the Robert's Rebellion late. Like he wanted to make sure, you know, which side is winning before I drag my ass out of this castle, essentially. And so they have like this chip on the shoulder. And so when Tyrion laughs, Catelyn's like, I got you now. Yes. And with the phrase, she knew she would have the backing. Like they'd all take Tyrion. And it's funny that it's the phrase that really decide this, when knowing it's the phrase that will lead, well, one of the many reasons as to what led to their demise. Because it's not just one thing, but it does happen under the phrase roof. So it's like, it's just ironic that this is like the first like real act of war against Tywin Lannister, when you touched his son. And then it's under the house of the phrase that they met their demise. It's just the irony, like the little thorough lines that George wrote. And there's more in this scene too that just, it just leaves you a little bit like, oh, Catelyn, if you had I feel like the best I don't think there was any. Okay, here's the thing. What would have been the best option if she had, okay, yeah, she takes Tyrion, but what would have been the better action? If she goes back to King's Landing with him, I don't think that's a good action. Because Robert, like, his balls belong to Tywin Lannister at this point. He has his balls are attached to Tywin, and they're swinging in between Tywin's legs. So even if Catelyn had taken Tyrion to King's Landing, presented all the information, the cat spa, Tyrion, all of it, and like cornered them, they're most definitely not coming out of this. Like, I think it's okay for me to talk about like later actions. After Jory's death and Ned is injured, Robert still does nothing. So I always wonder if she had taken him to King's Landing and like, okay, she takes Tyrion, but she goes right back to King's Landing and tells Robert everything. It's not gonna pan out well. Like there's nothing, like if anything, Robert's just gonna like say, damn it all, just go back to your houses and leave me be. Now I'm gonna go whore and hunt. Peace out. Nothing would have changed. He's not doing a damn thing because you see what happens with Jory and Ned, and he didn't do a damn thing then. So taking him to Lysa was, I mean, no. Absolutely. Taking him to Lysa, we saw how that panned out. I personally think the better option would have been to just take him to Winterfell. I mean, taking him to Winterfell where you have full control and there's really nothing Tyrion can do. Like, you are the well, I mean, yeah, you have Robb, but Robb ain't letting Tyrion go, I'll tell you that much. It's just, and then you think about it also, because Ned told Catelyn to like, he gave her, he gave her instructions like to, I forgot which house, to like get their ships ready and things like that. Like, he gave her a list of instructions to get everything ready, and she doesn't. Like, the entire plan just goes right out the door. But I do think touching Tyrion was a bad idea. I think just leaving him be, like, come up with a different lie as to why you're there, or just say you're coming to winter, you're coming to, like, there's no way he, how can I put it? I'm trying to think, is there any way for Tyrion to have known that she'd already been to King's Landing? I don't think so. Like, she could have just said, oh, I'm going to try to make it for the Hand's tourney, but we got held up. like we came across some trouble in the woods and we got held up. Like she could have came up with a lie. Like she didn't have to take him to cover up that the fact that she went to King's Landing to meet with Ned and tell him about the cat spawn and all that. Like like she didn't have to give, like I feel like she probably felt cornered, like if I don't take him he'll tell. But I feel like she could have told a lie and just say, oh, we got held up, wanted to go be with Ned for the Hands tourney, see the girls and all that, but we were accosted on the way there and we got held up. Plain and simple. She could have lied through her teeth on that. But she decides to take him. She decides, and it's not that it's Tyrion per se. Like when I say Tyrion, I mean like Tyrion as a person. It's the fact that he's Tywin Lannister's son. And she tells Robb, the years have not made this man kinder. You know how vicious he is. And you touched his son. What'd you think was gonna happen? It just frustrates me. It frustrates me to no end. Like, Mrs., did we not think this through? Clearly we didn't. Well, let's see. We have the whole Jon Snow and Sam, and oh my goodness. Sam, like, I don't want to make Sam's plight about Jon, but I'm gonna make Sam's plight about Jon. This is such a huge reason why I love Jon Snow, because not only is it his kindness towards Sam, but it's the fact that later on he's really the only, well, not the only, yeah, he's the only one who sees the value in Sam. Like, you need more than just fighters. You need smart people. You need guys like him, because like maesters, in order to run a castle, you need people who are good at their job. Like, I get it. Just because you come to the Night's Watch, it does not mean you automatically get trained to fight. Well, I mean, yes and no, but at the same time, this doesn't need to be his singular focus. Like, and I always, it frustrates me, why did Randall Tarley, like, you know Sam loves books, like, you know he's smart. Why not send him to the Citadel in Old Town and have him like trained to be a maester? Why abuse him and try to make him something he's not? Like, I don't get it. Like, isn't it I just think they're awful. I think just Sir Alistair, well, I guess Sir Alistair is a bit more complex than Randall Tarley, in my opinion. I feel like Sir Alistair, well, maybe not more complex, just, well, Sir Alistair was forced to go to the Wall. He did not choose to be there. He chose the Targaryen side of the war, and so when they lost, they sent his ass to the Wall. So now I think he's just bitter, essentially. But Sir Alistair, like, he makes a point in the sense that y'all need to toughen up, because winter is no mother effing joke. But at the same time, you're not training them in any way, any tangible way that can make them prepared. There's a way to train people where you're hard on them, but that harshness comes with lessons that they can internalize and learn from. His lessons aren't lessons. They're his outlet for his anger, his bitterness towards the world, everything he's suffered, and he's taking it out on them with no real intention of making them better. That's the difference between tough love or being hard on someone. You're doing it with the intention, the motivation deep down that it's for them. You're not taking personal enjoyment or getting out your anger at the world onto these people that you're trying to train. I feel like that's one of the major differences between people who are teachers who train in the way of tough love versus people who train and teach or find themselves in these positions of authority where they have to like teach individuals. Those individuals who are hard on them, but they're not doing it for the betterment of the people they're teaching. I feel like that's what kind of delineates that line. It's the motivation behind the harshness. So Sir Alistair can make a valid point that winter's no child. And you know what annoys me? As they're talking about like he's so right. He like set the music, the direction, the dialogue, the actors' tone, the delivery of it, everything about it sets the stage that winter in and of itself is a beast. And then on top of that, you have the others, the dead that are coming with it this time around. And then they solve this in one freaking episode. I would have preferred the long night have taken like a good chunk of the season. You spend so long preparing and then you just end it in one episode. I mean, granted, okay, look. As a standalone, The Long Night is good TV. It's excellent TV. I mean, if you could see it, sure, but like, just excellent TV. But in the context of, I forgot who said that. There's this, pardon me, there's this, the actress who plays Michonne from The Walking Dead, and I believe she's also in Black Panther. I've never seen Black Panther. I need to watch Black Panther. But she's also an actress in Black Panther. She did like a seminar, I guess, at her old college. And I watched it and she said something that really, it resonates with me with this show. And she's a writer, like she does writes, like she's a playwright. And she said that you can always tell when writers have great ideas and then they just, but because they're not willing to put it aside or like toss up because it's so great and they just want to put it in there, but it doesn't fit. It doesn't provide cohesion to the story. It's just a really great idea. That to me is what The Long Night is. It's a great idea that doesn't fit the show. Because you, from episode 1, from the very first second, you establish this massive threat. And it looms over the entire show. Year in, year out. And then it just ends like that. In that entire battle, that sequence, all of it, great idea. Just, it's a miss in terms of the scope. In the context of the series, how long it loomed, the fact that it, in my opinion, The Long Night shouldn't have ended at Winterfell. I personally think Winterfell should have fallen, and not fallen, but like they get past Winterfell. I think that should have happened. I feel like the Long Night should have been longer. Like, and when I say longer, I mean episodes, if not the majority of a season, an entire season. And that's not too difficult considering the seasons like ended up being like 6 episodes. Oh man, just, it's when you see the build up for The Long Night and just Winter and the others and the Night's King, and when you see all of this build up and the three-eyed crow was introduced, well, not introduced, but it was brought back in this episode, just all of these little things, and then it kind of just, like it just kind of splat at the end, like splat. It's kind of a letdown because I personally think Game of Thrones did adapt at the best of its capability to the TV, because listen, I'm not like they're like I said before, the cast becomes way too bloated. Like Gene Poole, they got rid of Gene Poole's character, and I'm one of the people who aren't against like the fact that they made Sansa and Gene Poole's like storyline like towards the later season, like the whole Ramsay plot, like it's not Sansa, it's Gene Poole that gets and it's not Sansa they think it is, it's Arya they think it is, and that plays a part as to why John, I mean kind of like Ned John interchangeable at some points, but John low-key gets stabby because of that entire like Gene Poole, Arya Stark, Ramsay situation. It's not just the wildlings, it's it's him wanting to go save Arya as well, and you know, kind of goes against his Night's Watch vows and things. It's a lot more complex than the show made it in terms of Jon. Like, yes, Jon was like pissing off the people at the Night's Watch, and he was doing certain things that led up to it, but Jon was actively about to break his Night's Watch vow of not to like get involved with the conflicts of Westeros. For little Arya. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to end it here and say bye. If you like this reaction, go ahead and give the video a like and tell me what you thought of the episode down below and subscribe. I'll see you all next time. Peace.